Hi my dear students, welcome back to the class. So far we were discussing about three-dimensional geometry, isn't it? We have discussed the concept of direction ratios, direction cosines, and we have done several problems using it. We derived a relationship between direction cosines, direction ratios, etc. And towards the end of the last class, we found out an equation connecting or equation for finding the angle between two lines, isn't it? Today we are going to do several problems using that equation at first. Then we are going to derive a condition for the shortest distance between two lines. Also we are going to derive some problems or are going to answer some problems to find the shortest distance between some lines. So without any further intro, let's move on to the class. The example 9 of your textbook is find the angle between the pair of lines. We are given with two lines and we have to find the angle between the pair of lines. Observe that these are the pair of lines. Okay, now it is of the form R is equal to vector A plus lambda into vector B, isn't it? Always observe that whenever you are given with an equation in this form, just understand that this is nothing but the equation of a line which passes through the point A. A is the position vector of that point and parallel to the vector B. Always remember this. Whenever the given equation is of that form, always remember that it is nothing but the equation of a straight line. What kind of straight line? It is the equation of a straight line which passes through a point A whose position vector is A and parallel to vector B. It is of the form like this. We have learned this form in the previous class, isn't it? So we are given with a pair of lines like this. We have to find the angle between them, right? Since our first line is parallel to this vector, this is A and this is vector B, and this is the position vector of the point. A is nothing but the position vector of the point through which the vector passes, and B is the vector which is parallel to the entire point or the entire straight line. So we have B in this case is nothing but this. Let us call it as B1, A1, and this is nothing but A2, B2, right? Now we have to find the angle between these two lines. Observe that B1 is nothing but the straight line which is vector which is parallel to this line, and B2 is nothing but the vector which is parallel to this line. So we can easily find the angle between these two lines just by finding the angle between these two vectors. ശരിയല്ലേ? നോക്കിക്കേ, ഈ ലൈൻ എന്ന് പറയുന്നത് പാരലൽ ടു ദ വെക്റ്റർ B1, whereas this line is parallel to the vector B2 ആണ്. Then instead of finding the angle between these two lines, it is enough to find the angle between these two vectors B1 and B2. Since B1 is parallel to this and B2 is parallel to this, the angle between B1 and B2 will be same as that of the angle between the entire line, right? So we know that the angle between two vectors B1 and B2 is given by modulus of B1 dot B2, these are two are vectors, divided by mod B1 into mod B2, isn't it? We used the formula of dot product here. Now B1 dot B2. What is B1 dot B2? We can write over here. B1 dot B2 is equal to 1 into 3 is nothing but 3 plus 2 into 2 is nothing but 4 and 2 into 6 is nothing but 12. What is this? 3 plus 4 is 7. 7 plus 12 is nothing but 19. Now mod B1. Mod B1 is equal to square root of 1 square plus 4 plus 4. It is nothing but 9. Isn't it? 1 square plus 4 plus 4 is 9. So it is nothing but 3. Now mod B2 is nothing but what? 3 square plus 4 plus 6 square. What is it? Square root of 9 plus 4 plus 36. It is equal to 7, right? So we get cos theta is nothing but modulus of 19 by 7 into 3. That is 19 by 7 into 3. It implies theta is equal to cos inverse 19 by 21. So the angle between these two vectors is also cos inverse 19 by 21 because B1 and B2 are nothing but the vectors parallel to the first line and the second line respectively. Now we shall move to the next example. The example number 10 is Find the angle between the pair of lines given by the Cartesian equation. In the previous example, we were given with two lines in the vector equation, whereas in this example, we are given with two lines in the Cartesian form of equation, Cartesian equation. So, from this, we can easily find the direction ratios of the first line as well as the direction ratios of the second line, right? So, we can name A1 is equal to 3, A2 is equal to 5 and A3 is equal to 4, which is the direction ratios of the first line. Now the second line, direction ratios of the second line can be named as B1 is equal to 1, B2 is equal to 1 and B3 is equal to 2. Then by the previous formula we have cos theta is equal to modulus of A1 B1 plus A2 B2 plus A3 B3, A1 B1 plus A2 B2 plus A3 B3 divided by square root of A1 square plus A2 square plus A3 square into square root of B1 square plus B2 square plus B3 square. This is the formula we have learned in the previous class, right? Now we can just substitute those values. A1 B1, 3 into 1 equal to 3. So cos theta equal to modulus of 3 plus A2 B2, 5 into 1 is equal to 5 plus A3 B3, 4 into 2 is equal to 8 whole divided by A1 square plus A2 square plus A3 square. It is equal to 9 plus 25, 34 plus 4 is equal to 34 plus 16, 4 square equal to 16 equal to square root of 50, right, into now root of B1 square plus B2 square plus B3 square equal to 1 square plus 1 square 2, 2 square plus 4 equal to 2 plus 4 is equal to 6. So we have root 6 here. Now it is equal to 3 plus 5 plus 3 is equal to 8, 8 plus 8 equal to 16, 16 by root 50 into root 6. We can eliminate the modular absolute value sign because the entire thing inside the absolute value is positive. So now we can simplify this as we can write root 50 is equal to 25 into root of 25 into 2, which is root 5 root 2. So 16 divided by 5 root 2. Since root 25 is nothing but 5 and root 2 is nothing but root 2 into root 6 is nothing but root 2 into root 3, isn't it? Now it is equal to 16 divided by 5 into root 2 is nothing but 2 into root 3, right? Now 2 and 16 cancels and 8 by 5 root 3 will be the answer. Now we can multiply root 3 in the both numerator and denominator. So it will become 8 root 3 divided by 5 into 3, which is 8 root 3 by 15. What we have done is multiplying root 3 with numerator and denominator. So root 3 into root 3 is nothing but 3. 8 root 3 divided by 15. So theta is nothing but cos inverse of 8 root 3 by 15 will be the answer. In a similar manner, we can easily find the angle between two lines. If it is given in the Cartesian equation, just identify the direction ratios of those two lines. If it is given in the vector form, we can find B1 and B2, which are the vectors parallel to line L1 and L2 respectively, and hence we can find the angle between B1 and B2 using the dot product formula. Hence that will be the angle between the vectors, the given lines also. Now we can move to the new concept. Next we are going to deal with a new concept. The name of the concept is nothing but shortest distance between two lines. Of course you have learned this thing in two-dimensional geometry in class 11, but here there is a small difference. We know that whenever we are given with two lines, we can always find the shortest distance, right? Here the two lines will intersect at a point, hence we can say that the shortest distance between these two lines is nothing but 0. So whenever the lines intersect, the shortest distance between those two lines will be 0. Okay, suppose that these two lines never intersect, then they are parallel, isn't it? Then the shortest distance between these two lines is nothing but the perpendicular distance between these two lines. We have learned these things in the two-dimensional geometry. Now can you suppose or can you imagine a situation where the two lines given are non-intersecting as well as non-parallel? Can you imagine? Suppose that you are given with two lines which is not intersecting as well as not parallel. Yes, of course this is possible in three-dimensional geometry. Suppose that you are given with a line like this. Suppose that this is the given line and suppose that this is another line. See, these two lines are given in the 3D plane. Of course these two lines will never intersect. Of course this line will go like this, whereas this line will go like this, and these two lines will never intersect. Is this parallel lines? Of course not. These two lines are not parallel also. So there is a possibility that in three-dimensional plane you can see some situations whereas the lines are not parallel and non-intersecting here. So there are situations in 3D plane. This is the only two cases in 2D plane, whereas in 3D plane there is another case, which is there is the possibility of existence of two lines which are not parallel as well as non-intersecting. Such lines are called skew lines. So skew lines are those lines in 3D plane which are not parallel as well as non-intersecting. Now we are going to find the perpendicular distance between two skew lines, because the perpendicular distance between these two skew lines always give us the shortest distance between two skew lines. You can see that these are two skew lines. We can always, it is possible for us to find the perpendicular distance between these two lines, which gives us the shortest distance between these two lines. So the shortest distance between skew lines is our next concept. Now suppose that we are provided with two skew lines like this. Suppose that these two are skew lines which are non-parallel lines as well as non-intersecting lines, even though it seems like a parallel lines. Suppose that these two lines are non-parallel as well as non-intersecting in the 3D plane. So this is L1 and this is L2. Let me name these two lines as like this. Now L1 is nothing but A1 plus lambda B1. Just the equation of L1 is nothing but A1 plus lambda B1, and equation of L2 is nothing but A2 plus lambda B2. We derived the equation of the line as this, where A1, A2 are the points on the line, B1 and B2 are the vectors parallel to the line segment passing through A1. We can name A, B just like this, and B, A like this, and the position vector of the point A is nothing but A1, and the position vector of the point B is nothing but A2. Also we have B2 is the line vector which is parallel to B, and B1 is the vector which is parallel to the vector line L1. These are the required conditions, and we have to find the shortest distance between these two lines, which means that we have to find the perpendicular distance between these two lines. Right, now we know that this is the line AB. Okay, so we have plotted all the required conditions in one figure. Now you can easily find the shortest distance between these two lines. Now look here, we have L1 is equal to A1 plus lambda B1 and L2 is equal to A2 plus lambda B2. Therefore the vector which is, see, B1 is parallel to this vector and B2 is parallel to this line. So the line which is line or vector, which is perpendicular to L1 and L2 is nothing but what? B1 cross B2, right? We have learned this in vector algebra, that whenever we are given with two vectors, we can find the vector perpendicular to both the vectors by finding B1 cross B2. So we can easily find B1 cross B2 as the vector which is perpendicular to both these lines, right? Now also note that if this is P and this is Q, also note that PQ is perpendicular to L1 and PQ is perpendicular to L2, right? See, PQ is perpendicular to L1 and PQ is perpendicular to L2, which means that B1 cross B2 is parallel to PQ, because B1 cross B2 is also perpendicular to L1 and L2, PQ is also perpendicular to L1 and L2, hence these two must be parallel, right? So we get B1 cross B2 is parallel to PQ. Now the unit vector in the direction of B1 cross B2 is nothing but n cap is equal to B1 cross B2 divided by modulus of B1 cross B2, isn't it? So we found out the unit vector in the direction of B1 cross B2. Hence unit vector in the direction of PQ is also nothing but n cap. Since B1 cross B2 and PQ are parallel, unit vector in the direction of B1 cross B2 is n cap. Hence we can say that the unit vector in the direction of PQ is also n cap. Let it be there. Now we can find out the projection of the vector AB onto PQ. We know that the projection of the vector A on B is given by A dot B divided by mod B, right? It is equal to A dot B cap. We have learned this thing also in our vector algebra classes. So using that, projection of the vector AB onto PQ can be evaluated as AB dot. See, here we have taken B cap. B cap is the unit vector in the direction of B. AB dot, the unit vector in the direction of PQ. It is nothing but n cap. AB dot n cap. Now, AB is nothing but, what is AB? A2 minus A1. Since the position vector of B is A2 and the position vector of A is A1, so AB is nothing but A2 minus A1 dot n cap. What is n cap? B1 cross B2 divided by mod B1 cross B2. So it is equal to A2 minus A1 dot mod B1 cross B2 divided by mod B1 cross B2, isn't it? So this is PQ. So PQ is nothing but this. So we have arrived at an equation that is PQ is equal to A2 minus A1 dot B1 cross B2 divided by mod B1 cross B2, isn't it? Now PQ is given by the vector this. So we have to find the shortest distance, which means that the distance of the line PQ. So we have to find mod PQ is the shortest distance, which is equal to A2 minus A1 dot B1 cross B2 divided by mod B1 cross B2. So this is the shortest distance, equation for the shortest distance for the two skew lines, whereas A1 and A2 are the respective position vectors of the points A and B on the line, and whereas B1 and B2 are the this B1 and this B2 are the vectors which are parallel to the lines L1 and L2 respectively. So if we know these quantities, we can easily find the shortest distance between these two vectors using the formula modulus of A2 minus A1 dot B1 cross B2 divided by mod B1 cross B2. Now this is the vector equation. Now we shall derive what happens if the equations of the lines are given in the Cartesian form. See, here we are given with the forms of lines in the vector form, right? A1 plus lambda B2, B1 and A2 plus lambda B2 are in the vector equations of line L1 and L2. So we have arrived at this equation. Now we can check what happens or what is the equation when the equation of the lines, respective lines, are given in the Cartesian form. So we were discovered that whenever we are given with two lines L1 and L2 of the form A1 plus lambda B1 and A2 plus lambda B2, we can easily find the shortest distance between those two lines using this formula, isn't it? Whereas A1 is the point or the position vector of the point on the line, whereas B1 is the vector parallel to that line. A2 is the position vector of the point on the second line and B2 is the vector which is parallel to that line. Also we know that these are the vector equations of those lines, and we already derived the Cartesian equation of the corresponding lines as L1 and L2 as x minus x1 by A1, y minus y1 by B1, z minus z1 by C1 from this equation itself. Whereas we know that vector A1, the coordinates of the vector A1 is nothing but x1, y1 and z1. Coordinates of the vector A2 is nothing but x2, y2, z2, x2, y2, z2, and the coordinates of the vector B1 is nothing but A1, B1, C1. Don't confuse with these notations. Here this B1 is the vector B1, whereas A1, B1, C1 are the points here, A1, B1, C1, and the coordinates of the point vector B2 is nothing but A2, B2, C2. So this was the derivation we have done in the previous class. So substituting all these values in the shortest distance form, we can easily derive or easily arrive at the shortest distance between these two lines in the Cartesian form. We shall just substitute this. First of all, we have to find vector b1 cross vector b2. Here b1, b2 is that. So vector b1 is nothing but a1 I cap plus b1 j cap plus c1 k cap. Vector b2 is nothing but a2 I cap plus b2 j cap plus c2 k cap. You know that if we are given with the points, the corresponding vector equation corresponding the position vector of those 2 points can be obtained like that. Alright. So we have b1 cross b2 is nothing but I, j, k. Now the coordinates a1, b1, c1, a1, b1, c1, next one a2, b2, c2, a2, b2, c2. So this determinant is nothing but I into b1, c2 minus b2, c1, b1, c2 minus b2, c1 minus j into a1, c2 minus c1, a2, a1, c2 minus c1, a2 plus finally k into a1, b2 minus b1, a2, a1, b2 minus b1, a2. So this is nothing but b1 cross b2. Now a2 minus a1 is nothing but a2 minus a1. Vector a2 minus vector a1 is nothing but x2 minus x1, y2 minus y1, z2 minus z1, right? x2 minus x1 I cap plus y2 minus y1 j cap plus z2 minus z1 k cap. So a2 minus a1 dot b1 cross b2 is nothing but, we know that whenever two vectors are given in the component form, we can find the dot product just by multiplying the respective components, isn't it? So we get x2 minus x1 into b1 c2 minus b1 c2 minus b2 c1. Now plus into minus 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 y2 minus y1 into y2 minus y1 into what is a1 c2 minus a1 c2 minus c1 a2, right? Again here we have plus into plus is equal to plus this is k cap, sorry, here we have minus. Now plus into plus is equal to plus k cap. So the components of k cap should be multiplied. z2 minus z1, z2 minus z1 into a1 b2 minus b1 a2. Now you can easily observe that this quantity is nothing but the determinant x2 minus x1, y2 minus y1, z2 minus z1, a1, b1, c1, a2, b2, c2. So b1 cross b2 dot a2 minus a1 is nothing but this determinant. So we can easily find the shortest distance as d is equal to determinant of what? This thing is actually this determinant, right? Determinant x2 minus x1, y2 minus y1, z2 minus z1, x2 minus determinant x2 minus x1, y2 minus y1, z2 minus z1. And in the next row we have a1, b1, c1, a1, b1, c1. In the next row we have a2, b2, c2, a2, b2, c2. So this determinant divided by, what is divided by mod b1 cross b2? b1 cross b2 is nothing but what? I cap into b1 c2 minus b2 c1 minus j cap into this plus k cap into this. So we have to find the mode value, which is equal to square root of, what is square root of? b1 c2 minus b2 c1 the whole square, b1 c2 minus b2 c1 the whole square plus next component a1 c2 minus c1 a2 the whole square, a1 c2 minus c1 a2 the whole square plus, and the final component a1 b2 minus b1 a2 the whole square, a1 b2 minus b1 a2 the whole square. So whenever this thing is given in the, whenever the equation of the line is given in this form, we have to, the shortest distance is nothing but determinant of x2 minus x1, y2 minus y1, z2 minus z1 in the first row, a1 b1 c1 in the second row, a2 b2 c2 in the third row, divided by square root of b1 c2 minus b2 c1 the whole square plus this thing whole square, this thing whole square. What is this? This is actually nothing but b1 cross b2. You can easily find out using this relation, and hence find the absolute value of entire thing in order to get the shortest distance between these two lines. You may feel confused or terrified on seeing this a big equation like this all at once, but this is very simple. Just understand the process of derivation. If you feel discomfort in understanding or by hearting this equation, just understand this equation is, this quantity is actually nothing but modulus of b1 cross b2. So you have to remember what is b1 cross b2, and you can easily find out mod b1 cross b2. Okay, now this determinant can also be memorized very easily. So you can find, substitute x2, x1, y2, y1, z2, z1, a1, b1, c1, a2, b2, c1, and then you can find this determinant, and this determinant will give you a number. Also the denominator will give you a number. This will be a fraction. If it is negative, just take the positive value. This is the absolute value to get the shortest distance. That's all. You can easily find the shortest distance using the Cartesian equation. This is the Cartesian equation, whereas this is the vector equation to find the shortest distance between two lines. When we have to use these equations according to the question. If the question given is the vector equation, in the question you have given vector equation, so you can use the distance formula for vector equation. If the question given is in the Cartesian equation, you can use this formula to find the shortest distance. Now we have to move on to the next concept. We shall derive the shortest distance when the two lines are parallel. Consider when we have two lines like this which are parallel. Always remember that the shortest distance between two lines is nothing but the perpendicular distance between these two lines, right? So let us name this line L1 as, this is L2 and this is L1. L1 is equal to A1 plus lambda into B, and L2 is nothing but A2 plus lambda into B. See why we chose the B, not b1 b2, but we chose a unique vector B, because L1 and L2 are parallel. B is a vector parallel to L1. Also B is a vector parallel to L2. Since L1 and L2 are parallel, it is always possible for us to find a unique vector B which is parallel to both L1 and L2. So it is enough to spot a unique B instead of B1 and B2. Now since A2 is a point here, let the position vector of this point be A2, let it be A, and A1 is a point, the position vector of the point, this is BB and this is BA. So this line is nothing but AB. Okay, so we have to find the perpendicular distance between these two points, whereas A is the point whose position vector is A1, B is the point whose position vector is A2. So we have to find this perpendicular distance, isn't it? So let us name it as S. So BS and AB. Now we shall enlarge this triangle as like this. This is a right angled triangle with S, A and B as the vertices. Now just let us name this angle as theta. So this angle is nothing but theta. Now we have BS. BS is our perpendicular distance. BS is nothing but mod AB sin theta, isn't it? Since AB is the hypotenuse and theta is the angle between that, BS is the opposite side of the angle. So we have BS is nothing but mod AB sin theta. Now consider mod AB cross B. We are considering mod AB cross B. Mod AB cross B. It is equal to mod AB dot B dot sin theta. Mod B dot sin theta, isn't it? Now we know that mod AB sin theta is nothing but BS. So it is equal to BS into mod B, isn't it? So we have BS, our perpendicular distance. It is nothing but mod AB cross B divided by mod B. So the perpendicular distance BS between two parallel vectors whose points are marked as A, whose position vector is A1, and point B whose position vector is A2 is nothing but mod AB cross B. Now we know that A is the point A1 and B is the point A2. So it is equal to BS is equal to modulus of AB cross B. AB is nothing but A2 minus A1. So A2 minus A1 cross vector B divided by mod B. So the absolute value of this, it can be negative since cross product can be negative. So the absolute value of this will be the distance, shortest distance between the lines L1 and L2. So it is enough to identify the points A1, A2 and the vector B, so that we can easily find the shortest distance between these 2 points are mod A2 minus A1 cross B divided by mod AB. Also note that when we have derived the shortest distance between 2 skew lines, as we know that D is equal to absolute value of A2 minus A1 dot B1 cross B2 divided by mod B1 cross B2, isn't it? Now see, if the lines are intersecting, then this shortest distance must be equal to 0, which means that the numerator must be equal to 0. That means A2 minus A1 dot B1 cross B2 must be equal to 0, which is the condition for the lines to be intersecting. So the lines to be intersecting only when A2 minus A1, where the lines are R is equal to A1 plus lambda B1 and A2 plus lambda B2 are the respective lines, then the lines are said to be intersecting only if A2 minus A1 dot B1 cross B2 is equal to 0, and when the lines are parallel, the shortest distance between the lines is given by absolute value of mod A2 minus A1 cross B divided by mod B, and the shortest distance D between the skew lines is given by A2 minus A1 dot B1 cross B2 divided by mod B1 cross B2. So in a way we can do this, the shortest distance between any type of line, whether it is parallel, skew lines, or if it is intersecting. Now we can do several problems regarding this. Coming on to the example 11. Example 11 is find the angle, or sorry, find the shortest distance between 2 lines whose vector equations are thus. So this is example 11. So we can find out the shortest distance. We know that the equation to find the shortest distance between 2 vectors is given by absolute value of A2 minus A1 dot B1 cross B2 divided by what? Modulus of B1 cross B2. Right. Now from the given statement itself we have A1, A2, B1, B2, right? What is A1? A1 is nothing but I plus J, I plus J. A2 is nothing but 2I plus J minus K, 2I plus J minus K. Now what is B1? B1 is nothing but 2I minus J plus K, 2I minus J plus K. If you have any doubt in applying these formulas all at once, just do these steps. Just take out all these terms and write it down like this, then it is easier for to apply the formula of shortest distance. Now B2 is nothing but 3I minus 5J plus 2K, right? So we have A1, A2, B1 and B2. Now the shortest distance can be evaluated as, we have A2 minus A1. First of all we need A2 minus A1. It is equal to 2 minus 1 is I cap, J minus J is 0 K J cap, minus K minus, here we have 0 K cap only, so minus 1 K cap, right? So this is our A2 minus A1. Now B1 cross B2, this is little bit time consuming. So B1 cross B2 is nothing but I cap, J cap, K cap. Now the coefficients of B1 and B2 are 2 minus 1, 1, 3 minus 5, 2. So this determinant is nothing but B1 cross B2. It is equal to I cap into minus 2 minus minus 5, minus 2 plus 5, minus J cap into 4 minus 3, right? 4 minus 3 plus K cap into minus 10 minus minus 3, minus 10 plus 3, right? It is equal to 3I cap minus 4 minus 1, 3 is equal to 1, minus J cap plus minus 10 plus 3 is nothing but minus 7 K cap, right? So this is B1 cross B2. Now A2 minus A1 see a2 minus a1 dot b1 cross b2. a2 minus a1 dot b1 cross b2 is nothing but 1 into 3 is equal to 3. 0 into y minus 1 is equal to plus 0. Minus 1 into minus 7 is equal to plus 7, isn't it? a2 minus a1, 1 into 3 equal to 3. 0 into minus 1 equal to 0. Minus 1 into minus 7 is equal to plus 7. It is equal to 10. Right. Now we have to find mod b1 cross b2. Mod b1 cross b2 is equal to square root of, what is b1 cross b2? This 9 plus 1 plus 49. So 49 plus 9 plus 1 equal to root 59, isn't it? So the shortest distance is given by 10 by root 59. The shortest distance between these two lines is given by 10 by root 59. This is very easy. Now we can go to the next example, example number 12. So the next question is example number 12, which states that, which asks us that find the shortest distance between these two lines. From first observation itself, it is clear that these two lines are parallel lines. How we can say that? See, here the vector b are the same. So the parallel vectors to line L1 and L2 is the same, which means that the lines L1 and L2 are parallel vectors. Therefore, we know the formula to find shortest distance between two parallel vectors as b cross a2 minus a1 divided by mod b, isn't it? Now b cross a2 minus a1, we can easily find a2 minus a1 as a2 minus a1 is equal to 3 minus 1 2 I cap, 3 minus 2 plus 3 minus 2 plus j cap, again minus 5 minus 4 minus 4, which is minus 1 k cap. So this is nothing but a2 minus a1, isn't it? So we have obtained a2 minus a1. Now we should find b cross a2 minus a1. So b cross a2 minus a1 is equal to ijk. It is ijk, then b, components of b is nothing but 2, 3, 6. 2, 3, 6, and components of a2 minus a1 is nothing but 2, 1, minus 1. So the determinant is equal to I into minus 3 minus 6 is equal to minus 9, right? Now minus j into minus 2 minus 12 is equal to minus 11, right? Plus k into 2 minus 6 is equal to minus 4. It is equal to minus 9 I cap plus 11 j cap plus minus 4 k cap. So this is our b cross a2 minus a1, right? So we have d is equal to absolute value of or magnitude of minus 9 I cap plus 11 j cap minus 4 k cap divided by mod b. What is mod b? B is equal to this, so mod b is equal to square root of 36 plus 9, 45 plus 4 is nothing but root 49. So now we have to find the modulus of this vector. It is equal to 1 by root 49 into modulus of minus 9 I cap plus 11 j cap minus 4 k cap, isn't it? Now again we can use the formula of square root. Square root of 81 plus 121 plus 16 will be the modulus value of this vector. Hence we get the shortest distance between these two lines as this single number. I am leaving this final answer for you. You can easily find it out. So this is it. We can easily find the shortest distance between any two lines, whether it is parallel or intersecting or skew lines, using our formula. Whenever it is intersecting, always remember that the shortest distance between those two lines will be 0. Whenever it is parallel, we can identify whether it is parallel or not just by looking into the b vector. So if it is equal or proportional, we can say that the distance, the formula to find the shortest distance is this, and hence we can find the shortest distance between those two vectors. So that's it. We can easily, that's the end of this section. So I hope you understood these concepts very well. In the next class we are going to solve exercise 11.2 and we can find the answers of a variety of questions from that exercise. But before attempting or before entering into the next session, you have to really very much understood with this concept, and you have to by heart all these equations. The equation to find the distance, shortest distance between two skew lines, two parallel lines and two intersecting lines very well, so that you can easily do that problems. So till then, bye bye.